All right, let's get into it. Today, we are pulling back the curtain on the secret history of something you see all the time, but probably never, ever think about. And believe me, its story is wild. We're talking accidental discoveries, seriously deadly chemicals, and a tiny invention that literally set the entire world on fire.
Now, really, take a second. What is it? Your phone? No, you definitely think about that. A zipper? Maybe. What's that one little piece of tech in your life that you totally take for granted, but that completely changed the game?
You guessed it, it's the matchstick. It might seem simple, but before this thing came along, just making a fire was a huge, frustrating chore. This tiny stick is genuinely one of the most powerful and important inventions ever, and today we're going to find out why. So, to really appreciate just how genius the match is, we first have to understand what life was like without it. And honestly, it sounds like a total nightmare.
I mean, just look at this difference. Humanity went from a method that was slow, super unreliable, and actually kind of dangerous to something you can do in, 2 seconds with one hand? That's not just an improvement. That's a massive leap forward for civilization.
For thousands of years, you had two main options. You could rub sticks together until your arms felt like they were going to fall off, or you could try to get a spark by hitting flint against steel, which is way, way harder than it looks in the movies. Some people would even keep a little bundle of tinder smoldering all day long, just so they wouldn't have to start from scratch. It was just a constant, annoying struggle. So how did we get from all that mess to a simple little stick? Well, like so many great inventions, it happened completely by accident.
Okay, picture this. The year is 1826. An English chemist named John Walker is in his lab, just stirring a pot of chemicals with a wooden stick. He has no clue he's about to stumble upon something that will change the world forever.
So after stirring this concoction, Walker notices a dried little glob of chemicals on the end of his stick. And being a tidy guy, he tries to scrape it off on the stone floor. And poof, it just bursts into flame. He had just accidentally invented the very first friction match, which he called friction lights.
And here is the absolute best part of the story. Walker thought his invention was so useful that it should belong to everyone. So he never patented it. He basically left the door wide open for other inventors to grab his idea and run with it, which is exactly what they did. Now, Walker's matches were an amazing start, but they were far from perfect. So the next chapter in the matchstick story was all about making them more reliable and, a whole lot less deadly. It was time for a toxic glow-up. Right away, the first matches sold to the public got the nickname Lucifers. And yeah, they definitely earned it. They smelled terrible. They let off a ton of smoke, and sometimes they just shoot off sparks and set your rug on fire. Not exactly a safe household item. So to fix this, an inventor named Charles Soria had a brilliant idea: add white phosphorus to the mix. And it totally worked. The matches lit up easily every time. There was just one teeny tiny problem. White phosphorus is incredibly toxic. So it was a big step forward for performance, but a massive step backward for not poisoning people. So the race was on to make a better, safer match. First, you had the toxic phosphorus matches in the 1830s. Then, in 1844, a Swede named Gustav Erik Pasch had a genius idea for a safety match. But it was another guy from Sweden, Johan Lundström, who really perfected the design later in the century and gave us the safe, reliable match we still use today. And the secret to the safety match is so simple, it's brilliant. They just split up the key ingredients. You've got one set of chemicals on the match head, and the most important ingredient, a much safer, non-toxic red phosphorus, is painted onto the striking surface of the box. They can't do anything on their own. Fire only happens when you bring the two together. It's simple, it's safe, and it's pure genius. Okay, so we've got it. A safe, cheap, portable way to make fire on command. So what? What did that actually mean for the world? Well, in short, it meant everything. Suddenly, anyone could make fire in an instant. Think about it. At home, lighting a stove or a candle went from being a real task to a non-issue. For explorers and campers, it made the wilderness survivable. It even created a massive new chemical industry just to make billions of these things. This one tiny stick had a giant ripple effect that changed daily life for pretty much everyone on the planet. This quote just nails it perfectly.
The match took our relationship with fire and completely flipped it on its head. It took one of the most powerful and dangerous forces in nature and made it so safe and convenient you could carry it around in your pocket. When you boil it all down, this story of the matchstick is just this amazing tale of human ingenuity. It shows how a bunch of small ideas and improvements, one after another, all driven by the need to make something a little bit better and a little bit safer, can end up solving a problem that had bugged people for thousands of years.
And that kind of leaves you wondering, right? If a simple match has a story this epic, what other tiny, everyday things are we totally ignoring? What other world-changing secrets are hiding in plain sight? Take a look around. You might be surprised by what you find.